Hey fam, welcome to Punks for Progress. I'm Reverend Aaron. This is going to be a fairly short video. It's not a full-length what the fuck report. We're going to be discussing basically one topic. Is Parr Boulevard, the Washoe County Jail, a cesspool of COVID-19? Now, I've made a few phone calls, done a little bit of research, and basically trying to get the answer to two questions. One, are masks being provided, or have they been provided, for anyone that has been housed or is currently being housed at Parr Boulevard? And two, has anyone who has been housed or is currently being housed at Parr Boulevard been tested for COVID-19? And that's what we're going to be talking about in this video. Is Parr Boulevard a cesspool for the spread of COVID-19? Okay, fam. So like I said, we're going to be taking a look at, is Parr Boulevard it's what we call the Washoe County jail facility. It's on Parr Boulevard. It's on 911 Parr Boulevard, just north of Reno. And that's what we call it, Parr. But listen, I have called twice. The first time I called the facility was on a Sunday. And I asked the question, is anyone being provided, are the inmates being provided with masks, and are they being required to wear them? Couldn't get an answer. I was told to call back Monday because it's Sunday, and they can't know whether all the inmates at Parr have been provided masks or not, or whether they're wearing them or not. So, fair enough. I called back on Monday, and by this time I had talked to some local, organizers and people who, are involved in keeping an eye on cops and whatnot, and their activities, and local people who have had loved ones murdered by police, by the RPD and Sparks PD and stuff. And what we found out was, one, here, let me show you this. So this is from the transcripts from the a recent what do you call it appointment for the county commissioner's office, and it was Sheriff Balaam, who is in charge of Parr Boulevard because he's our the sheriff of our county. Basically, if you go through this here in the second paragraph, it talks about the stuff from 19, and he talks about how there's, like I said, 5 deputies that have tested positive for COVID, but they don't have any test results for any of the inmates. Now, they don't say that they tested all the inmates and got no positive results back. They just say they don't have any positive tests for COVID from the inmates. And I also wanted to show you, so how many people are in Parr Boulevard? Well, according to the Washoe County Sheriff's Department website, there is on average in 2017 1,085 people housed at any given time in Parr Boulevard. So let's just, for the sake of this video, go on the number average of 1,000. Okay, it's been 3 years. Numbers fluctuate, but like I said, for the sake of argument, we'll just say that it is 1,000 people. So what we have is roughly 1,000 people housed in one facility where, according to Washoe County Sheriff's, 5 deputies that work there have tested positive for COVID. But I can't get a straight answer on whether or not the inmates are being provided masks and wearing them or not. And I can't get a straight answer on whether they've tested them or not. And I can only venture and guess to say that the answer is no. Because, again, my speculation would be that had they rolled out tests and tested 1,000 people and then provided masks for 1,000 people, I can't see how there would be a single person that's works for the Washoe County Sheriff's Department that would not be acutely aware that this rollout had happened, that this action had been taken. And I can also tell you this, not once was I told on either of my calls that, oh, I don't know. I'm not sure. The last call I made was on Monday. I'm now recording this on Wednesday. I left a voicemail for that person in charge of health services at Parr Boulevard. I was assured that, they don't always answer, but if you leave a message, they are really, really timely and always will get back to you within 24 hours. It's been more than that. I haven't heard a thing. And I asked the same questions. Again, the questions were, are you providing masks for the inmates, and have you tested any of them? And I have not got an answer. And let me tell you why this is relevant. You can be like, well, fuck them. They're all a bunch of criminals and whatever. And, why should I care? I live in Reno. I don't have to live up there. I'm not being exposed to it. Well, there's a number of reasons why that's faulty thinking and dangerous thinking. One, people come and go from that facility all day, every day. Every hour of the day and night, there's people being processed into and out of that facility. There are literally hundreds of people at any given time that basically have committed no crime, but they're poor and got arrested and can't make bail, so they have to sit in there and wait arraignment. It's people who may only be in there 3-4 days that never committed a single crime. They get out, they get their arraignment, they find out the charges dropped, whatever. But it doesn't change the fact that for 3 days they were swimming in a hotbed of the spread of COVID. And then they come back down into the valley, into Reno, and spread it to our community. Now, that's not their fault. Please don't misunderstand that like I'm trying to demonize anyone that's been up at Parr Boulevard forced to eat those fucking disgusting cat food sandwiches. That ain't what this is about. This is about, I'm getting the impression that the Washoe County Sheriff's Department and our local city council doesn't give a flying fucking shit about the lives of the people up in that jail right now. Roughly 1,000 of them. And again, 5 deputies tested positive. 0 positive tests from the 1,000 people housed in. And let's talk about what it's like in there. Okay, the main general housing units are two-story with a second tier of a bunch of different cells with hard doors. They're not cell doors that slide. They're actual heavy doors that close, but you have 2 people in each of them. That's within close quarters. These are 6x9 cells. It's impossible to social distance 6 feet in one of these cells. But that's just the Gen Pop units. When you get over into the working units, those are dorm settings. So what you have is a ground level with a deputy's desk and like a TV area and a common area, and then up the stairs level. All of this wide open. If you walk in the front door of this unit, you can see all of this from the front door of the unit. So on the second level is all the different dorms, basically just walls about this high that separate them, and they have like 6 to 8 bunks in each of these slotted sort of what they call dorms. So you're looking at dozens of people in an open air room within incredibly close quarters. That I don't know, maybe they are being provided masks. No one can tell me whether they are or not. I don't know, fam. Do we care? I don't know there's much I can do except make this fucking video. I've made some phone calls trying to show you that there's at least 1,000 fucking people up there, and that Balaam fucking told them that 5 of his deputies tested positive. How do you think they caught it? 5 of them? They caught it because it's swirling around in the ventilators in that fucking building. God, that place is, the air in there before COVID is so fucking gross. People come out of there with like fucking gnarly cysts in their eyes and fucking shit in their skin and weird fucking sicknesses they never had before. The circulated air in that building is fucking foul. Should be wearing a mask in there even before COVID. Like, seriously. But here we are. Have they tested any of these people? Are they taking any precautions to stop the spread of COVID in that place? Because again, I'm going to reiterate, and I think we can wrap it up, and I've made my point. But I want to reiterate that 24 hours a day, every hour of the day and night, people are processed into and out of that facility. And the first place they go is to the bus stop out front, into the 7-Eleven to get cigarettes, then to the bus stop out front, and then they're down here in Reno. you could call the Washoe County Sheriff's Office, and if you do, I swear to God, if you do that based on my suggestion, you better be polite as fuck and respectful as fuck. Do not call them and make an ass of yourself and get a bunch of... Just do not do that. You are not on my team if you call and are disrespectful to them. Okay? Because it's not about... Look, I'm all about getting up in a cop's grill and letting them know how corrupt and disgusting they are. That's okay with me, but that's not what this is about. This is about giving a shit about 1,000 people. Giving a shit about roughly 1,000 people that may be, whether they've committed a crime or not. And again, our county jail is not full of a bunch of people who have been convicted of crimes. The vast majority of the people in there are awaiting their trial because they're poor and they can't afford bail. And then, who knows? Are they being exposed to COVID in the process? I don't know, fam. You can go to the website, Washoe County Sheriff's Department. There's a contact there. You can call and ask, are you providing masks for the inmates at Parr, and have any of the inmates been tested? I think they're fair questions. I haven't been able to get an answer. I would very much like to get one, because I'm thinking the answer is no on both accounts, which means something needs to be done. All right, fam. Much love to you for hanging out and watching. Respect and solidarity to everybody in Parr. And, and then I should say, if the answer is no for Parr, what's the answer for High Desert, for NNCC, for Lovelock, right? For Ely Max. The stories that are making headlines, like San Quentin, 19 dead. The stories that are making headlines about prisons is no one is being provided masks, no one is being tested or treated for COVID in jails and prisons across the country. I think it would be naive to think that our town and state is any different. But if we make enough noise properly and with respect, maybe we can do something for these people up in Parr. Anyway, like I said, much love and respect. Thank you for hanging out and watching. And we'll see you next time on Punks for Progress.